Hello, everyone. Thanks, Norina and Fran, for this invite to have me chat a few minutes about what I think about diabetic foot disease and the awareness. And congratulations on DFood International for putting off this Diabetic Foot Awareness Week, which I think is really important. My name is Jaap van Netten. I'm a human movement scientist from the Netherlands and is doing research as well as working in clinical practice on preventing foot ulcers in people with diabetes. Norina asked me a few questions and I'll read them and give my answers. So the question is, do you think we have enough awareness of the impact of diabetic foot disease on health services and our patients? And I'm afraid the answer is still no. We've come a long way. We're doing much better, but very often we still see that it's the neglected part. We don't really look at the feet until it's too late. And we're not really focusing all our energy that is equal to the burden that foot disease is. So we have an enormous gain still there if we create more awareness and if we make people more aware of the devastating consequences of diabetic foot disease and how good it can be prevented. So what has been the biggest advance in the management of diabetic foot in your career? So if I look at my career specifically, I'm still pretty new in the field, especially if I look around myself. And so I've been here for the last 10 years, I think. With my focus on diabetic foot ulcer prevention, I think the biggest advance in our management has been the ability to record plantar pressures, to map plantar pressures and to actually improve the footwear based on the plantar pressures. Because people with diabetic foot disease and neuropathy cannot feel what's happening to their feet. And so if you make a pair of really good shoes for them in order to prevent foot ulcers, but patients cannot feel what's happening there, we need to measure it in order to know what we're giving to patients and in order to show it to them. And being able to reliably measure plantar pressures to show your patients that the footwear that you're giving them is reducing and redistributing the plantar pressures, that has been the biggest advance that I've seen in my career specifically. What has been your biggest challenge? The biggest challenge is the challenge we're still facing in creating awareness in people with diabetes and in all the practitioners that they're facing of the importance of footwear and the importance of adhering to wearing the footwear. And this is understandable because people have been wearing footwear for their entire life, every different type of shoes that they like. And suddenly when the disease really hits them, they can only wear the specific footwear that we're making that is preventing these foot ulcers. But that takes away choice from people and that eats into their experiences. So the biggest challenge is to get your patient on board with the importance of wearing the footwear in order to prevent the foot ulcers, wearing it outside, but also wearing it inside their homes. And that's a challenge we continuously face every day, but we're getting better and better, I think, in creating awareness with patients, with the other health practitioners, in telling them how important it is, and in facilitating them to wear their footwear more often. Would I choose the same career again? I definitely think so. Diabetic foot disease is such a multidisciplinary, complex problem that requires input from so many perspectives. And I've been so fortunate and lucky in my career to work with so many different people all over the world and people from different perspectives. And that really enriches my life. Learning from internists, learning from surgeons, learning from shoe technicians, learning from podiatrists, learning from so many people involved in the care for these patients, and then learning from the patients themselves who have a multi-organ disease and have so many problems. And I feel very fortunate that I can bring a small piece to hopefully some of the solutions. And what makes you happy? What makes me happy in my work is if we manage to create good footwear for a patient that makes that patient happy. We create the footwear that reduces the pressure, but it also meets the patient's expectations, that looks like they want to, and that they actually are really proud on wearing it. And we see that every now and then in our patients, and we hopefully see that more and more often. And that makes me really happy to see that patients walk away with footwear that fits their needs, that fits their personal preferences, but that's also really good for them. And that allows them to be more active and more healthy. And in conclusion, I again would like to congratulate DFood International on pulling this off. And I think it's really important that we create more awareness all together. We're in this together, and we can fix this together. Thank you very much.